Welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 18th of July. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. As ever, I'm going to give you the overall strands to look out for. Please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces in forensic detail. Now, as this week begins, Venus, the planet of relating, but also of loot, moves into the sign of Cancer on Monday. This is wonderful if we want to think about how we can improve our immediate physical environment. So some people are likely to be picking up the paintbrushes and making some changes perhaps to furnishings over the next few weeks. If you're in the northern hemisphere, even the outdoor space could be an area that you try to beautify. But also at the start of this week, Mercury is face to face with the strident and powerful energies of Pluto. Pluto's in the part of the overall zodiac which is to do with the more physical world, whereas Mercury is just leaving its recent home in the more emotional Cancer. So there could be some kind of intense discussion at the start of this week, but then on Tuesday, as Mercury makes its way into Leo, this is a more outgoing, friendly and affectionate sign, and an opportunity to think more about how we can connect and socialise. With Venus in the 4th house now, gatherings in our home environment could prove popular. But the big change this week is the Sun's move into Leo on Friday. And that's because the Sun governs the sign of Leo. But before it says goodbye, it also goes face to face with Pluto. So this clash between what we need in terms of our protection and security, the more nurturing side of life, with that harsher physical reality, it's something that is going to be very manifestly obvious to us all. But I think once the Sun gets into Leo, it's kind of saying, how can we find the inner resources in order to deal with balancing these different elements of our lives? I think it's a lot to do with a general instability that's going on in the world. And part of that is because Uranus, the planet of restlessness, is aligning with the North Node in Taurus. And basically we're getting the kind of consequences for our actions over many years, but because Uranus is the planet of truth and the sign of Taurus is very much about resources, some of that is to do with the cost of living crisis. And the conjunction between the North Node and Uranus will peak next week, and I will tell you about that then. Of course, we've also got Mars in the sign of Taurus too, which technically is not its best location, and that can make people a little bit more sort of resentful and outspoken around financial issues. So we are seeing more activism as people push back against any very difficult conditions that they're living in. So there could be a big flavour of that this week, but I think Mercury and the Sun moving into Leo is really saying to us, what can we do to be more creative, more passionate? How can we bring our personality power to bear in order to improve our situations? Now, I've crashed through the 100,000 mark in terms of subs. I'm keen to get to 101 as quickly as possible. If you'd be so good to click or tap on the bell notification symbol, I'd be most grateful. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. If you would like to ascend above this zodiac broadcast, please give me 3 pieces of personal birth data in time, date and place of birth, and I can give you a roadmap that can guide you for the rest of your life, along with a 12-month personal forecast. All of this is completely unique to you based on your birth data, and there's 30% off with my special package. Please see the link beneath this video. So Taurus, your week commencing the 18th of July forecast sees your glorious ruler Venus move on Monday into the part of your horoscope to do with your everyday communication. The gracefulness of this sign in this location means that you can choose your words with great care over the next 4 weeks. And that could be useful this week, to be honest, because on Monday and Tuesday, Mercury, the planet of communication, is in a stark opposition with Pluto. The Sun also face to face with Pluto across your 3rd and 9th houses initially. Now the 3rd house is our everyday thoughts, those quick ideas and ways we express ourselves, text messages, emails. But the 9th house is more to do with our philosophies and our higher sort of thoughts. And Pluto is the planet of power, but also of secrets. You could find yourself this week expressing an opinion that you feel that's been building up for some while. But the person that you express this to may be rather surprised by the level of conviction that you deliver this message with. However, with Venus in the mix, it could be a case of the steel fist inside the velvet glove. Then again, you may decide that you just need to be much firmer and much more to the point about asserting a point of principle which is very important to you. But if you are thinking of travelling this week, obviously Mercury can be very much to do with the booking, the tickets, the digitisation of all that process. And Pluto in the 9th house, the 9th house is where we expand and are adventurous. So I think you could find yourself just a lot more earnest in general, a lot more intensity around you. But Venus can help you to soften the message and use that those felt tones to put your idea across. And the arrival of Mercury and the Sun in your 4th house does point towards a part of the year where you're going to be more concerned with the inner part of your world, anything to do with your security, where you live, how you live there, whom with, family issues, are all going to take on much greater importance over the next few weeks. But of course, the North Node and Uranus are closing together in your sign and come into an exact conjunction on the 26th of this month. And that, along with Mars in your sign, is also another thing that could be making you inclined to be more trenchant in the way you say things, more direct. Now, you have a reputation of being a very solid, reliable person, but there is that part of you that, when roused, you can be very single-minded and really refuse to budge on a point of principle. And I think it's very, very possible that you're going to be surprising someone by how earnestly you put across your ideas this week.